Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching this from. Now, the title of today's Masonic education presentation will be the aspect of analyzing the pillars of Islam from a Sufi and Masonic perspective. I hope you're able to benefit from this dialogue in some way. And here we go. So we have the concept of the pillars in Masonry and what they represent, such as wisdom, beauty, and strength, like the three main pillars that we see, and how even inside the Holy Kaaba in the holy city of Mecca in the east, we see the three pillars in the altar and the rite of circumambulation and the rite of infusing yourself with that house not made with hands. Islam also embodies itself by the pillars and why the pillars are so important. So the first we look at is Shahada, the creed. So from the Islamic perspective, you believe in the one true God, and also you believe in his messengers, mainly from the Islamic point of view, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So that's the testimony that you cannot be a part of that circumstance in terms of being a believer if you are not professing your faith in the Supreme Being. In the Masonic point of view, you cannot join Freemasonry unless you profess your belief in a Supreme Being. Atheists cannot become Freemasons. So you have to put your trust in God, regardless of which path that you follow, because even in Holy Quran, Surah 2, verse 62, it tells you that whether you're a Jew, Christian, or Muslim, as long as you believe in God and do the right thing, then on the day of judgment you shall have no grief or punishment. So in the Masonic aspect, you have the same thing, being on the level, the altar. You have the volumes of sacred laws, the Old Testament for the Jews, the New Testament for the Christians. You have the Holy Quran for the Muslims. So even that concept of believing in a supreme being while becoming a Mason is also supported by the Islamic pillar of the Shahada and Surah 2, verse 262 of the Quran, that basically shows you those aspects of divinity and truth within yourself. Now we have the aspect of Salat, which is prayer. In Freemasonry, you have the prayer of your petition. So your petition is not just like a regular document or regular petition that you are submitting. It is your prayer that you are submitting to be found worthy by your brothers and by the lodge. So you have to be deemed worthy, and your prayer has to be answered by God, the grand architect of the universe. And once your prayer is submitted and accepted, then you are guided, mentored, initiated, etc. And anything that involves Masonic activities, even eating, you don't eat without invoking the blessings of Almighty God. Everything is about God, for God, the brotherhood of God, and basically reuniting mankind. Men who would otherwise remain at a perpetual distance, Freemasonry brings them together. And that's the beauty, where even in Surah 49, verse 10, it says, the believers are but one brotherhood. So make peace between your brothers, that ye may be shown mercy, which is equivalent to Psalms 133 that many Masons like to use. Behold, how good it is for brethren to dwell in unity. And the importance of unity, brotherhood, charity, mankind, in a time where there is so much division and chaos and hatred, we need to come back to that aspect of prayer and meditation again. Even the aspects of initiation, having a meal, anything that you do, it cannot begin unless the prayer is offered. And in Islam, you have to offer your prayers 5 times a day. You have to offer your prayers for the 5 times a day, for the Friday prayers, for the religious and holiday prayers as well, where you have extended prayers such as Ramadan, you have the Taraweeh prayers. So there's the concept of establishing that relation with the grand architect of the universe. Whether you refer to Allah or any other name, it's all that one truth that's embodying itself. So the Mason's job is to strengthen his relation with his Creator and to be in a state of charity, prayer, being of service to mankind, etc. So the same is asked for you to do in Islam. Now we move on to Psalm, fasting. So the aspect of fasting is basically in Ramadan, you deprive yourself of basically of food and water from sunrise to sunset, because there are also health benefits to this, which scientists and medical professionals have covered recently, of what fasting does to your body. This is something that Islam has been teaching for the last 1400 to 1500 years for its followers. The importance of fasting, that not only that it cleanses you and it has medical and spiritual benefits, but also it teaches you humbleness, humility, and teaches you those that have nothing what they have to deal with. And it basically embodies that empathy within you by putting you through that experience. It also teaches you to be charitable, where it tells you that even if you cannot do the aspect of fasting, donate to somebody, help them pay their rent for that month, help them get groceries, a 1 month supply. A poor family, low income family that's struggling, help them out. That is also a form of charity that we do during the month of Ramadan and the aspect of fasting. But what is the main teaching that you're being taught? To circumscribe your desires and live your life within due bounds. Same thing that Freemasonry teaches. Live your life in moderation. Do not do anything too much where it exposes your character to weakness and contempt. You are supposed to be a man of a high moral character, integrity, moral virtue, to not be basically put down by your lower nature and your vices. And you have to be better than that. You have to be the better example. So the fasting from the Ramadan point of view is the same exact thing. What Masons are also taught is to live your life in moderation and do everything in a balanced level. So that way you benefit yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and the karma that you are inhibiting in this lifetime. Now, we move on to the fourth pillar, the Hajj, the pilgrimage. Now, in Islam, you have the concept that if you are financially capable to do so, it is no strict obligation per se on you or your family. If you are not financially capable to do so, then the Hajj and the Umrah and the pilgrimages, you are excused, because God knows your situation and your intention, right? Unfortunately, these days, the whole Hajj aspect of the government that currently controls the two holy sites have kind of made it a monopoly in an industry. So the prices are truly, truly unaffordable for even your average middle class person to go there. But those that are able to afford to go, they can go. But those that cannot, they are excused. And what is the aspect of pilgrimage? Pilgrimage, it comes down to the aspect of being a salik. So in Sufism, a salik is referred to as a traveling man. And it teaches you that by the time you come out of your mother's womb, you have this aspect of the human life that you go through, from childhood through your teenage years, through puberty, adulthood, middle age, old age, and finally you leave from here. The only thing you take with you is what good did you do for yourself and others. We're all walking each other home, and we owe this love and light to one another. You're here to serve self, others, your family, leave good memories behind, leave a good foundation behind, and that's it. That's basically it. The salik, the traveling man who's on a pilgrimage. And the pilgrimage at Mecca symbolizes the same. In Freemasonry, we come back to the same question, a volunteer organization. And there are certain aspects where you will not be forced. Because if you're financially capable to do something, you will do it. If not, then no one will force you to do so. And also, even in Freemasonry, you're encouraged to be a traveling man, a salik, in the Sufi Islamic perspective. To go around, visit your brothers, visit different lodges, get to sit down and experience different cultures. The beauty of Masonry, that it unites mankind, otherwise who would remain at a perpetual distance. where Jews, Muslims, Christians, Hindus can all sit down on the table of brotherhood and be friends and break bread together and be an example to mankind that if we can do it, why can't you? And that is the importance that even in the Islamic perspective, you're taught to go to different mosques and sit down with different brothers and get to know them and learn from them, ask them about their families and let them learn about yours. And that's the beauty of this whole journey of what it means to be the true exemplar. Moving on to the fifth and final pillar, the zakat, and the importance of almsgiving. Now, in the aspect of Islam, you are supposed to give 5 to 10% of your income, depending on the perspective that you're dealing with of Islam, because even in Islam, you'll have so many variations of the faith. So depending on that, zakat is mandatory. 5 to 10% of your income, of your yearly income, you donate to those that are less fortunate, whether it's in your home countries or people that you know in your current areas, those that are low income. You can help somebody and make sure that it's going to the proper source and the proper people are being helped. So that is the mandatory aspect of your faith. If you go to the mosque on Fridays, you will see the people going around with the boxes collecting alms from the participants that are there, the members that are there. What happens in Freemasonry? Freemasons love to point out the fact that we are a charitable organization and we donate millions and millions to charity. We help so many people because that is the concept of being a believer, the zakat that is there to help those that are less fortunate. And that is the most important thing. So many lodges, what they do, depending on the jurisdiction, whether it's England or DC or other jurisdictions, they will always have the aspect of almsgiving, where there will be a brother who goes around and he collects donations and alms to help the local causes. Same thing you'll see in a Islamic institution, a Sufi mosque or any mosque that you go to. You will see that same aspect happening. Prayer, brotherhood, almsgiving, do the odes and prayers. Same exact thing you see in the lodges, same exact thing you see in the mosques and Sufi institutions. So ultimately, no matter what path you're following, it's all guiding you to do the same thing. It's all teaching you to do the same thing. It's all giving you the same moral virtues and lessons and allegorical lessons. But it's up to you if you choose to apply that. See, even in Freemasonry, you're given the knowledge, you're given the degrees. In Islam, Sufism, you're given the same information. But if you're not willing, you yourself, because it's your road and yours to walk alone, as you are even taught in your initiation, if you are not willing to do the 24-inch gauge or manage your time wisely, or not do your aspect of being a good man, who's a good man to himself, his family, and others, then you lose the plot, you lose that connection. So it's important that, yes, you will be given the knowledge, you will be given the information, you will be given the tools, whatever you have it. But you must be willing to implement those lessons in your life. That's when the true growth happens. No matter what path you follow, it's all teaching you the same exact thing in different variations and getting you to the same destination. So I hope you were able to take benefit from this dialogue, my brothers and sisters, from the Sufi and Masonic comparison of the Islamic pillars, and I hope you were able to get a better understanding of what it means. I wish you all a great month of July 2022 ahead, with love, light, peace, happiness, and prosperity for yourself and for your families, and thank you always for supporting me and my work. I'm truly grateful for all of you. God's mercy and blessings be upon you and yours always. Thank you.